Welcome back to the Blue Review. Greg Bergman, the Big CY, Clint Yates. The Blue Review is always presented by Los Angeles International Airport, where changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. How nice is it to be home, Clinton? The Dodgers come home, and finally they start getting a win. I just love seeing that, especially with Tony Gonsolin having a great game, Will Smith hitting a home run, David Peralta, who's been hot as all get out. I wanted to say something else, but I'm going to say all get out instead. Has been really, really good. So it was get a win out of it. 5-1 over the White Sox.
Yeah. And in the long grind that is a baseball season, getting a normal game with a lead you jump out to, a starter that goes a few, a bullpen that cruises, that alone can do wonders for the soul, chicken soup style, just in terms of getting back on the schedule of the baseball that you're trying to play. Sure, it was 2 homers. The Maruco did not show up, but that's fine. The manufacturing runs company, you know what I'm saying? But they got the win against the team that is otherwise struggling. I will very much say this was as big a start for this season right now for Gonsolin as we're going to see. Getting back in stride, his stuff was moving well. He was confident enough to the point he was walking off the mound on pitches that were well outside the zone because he thought he was going to be getting those kind of calls. That's where his mind was, and that's a good thing.
No, absolutely. And now the fact that you have 3 of your 5 starters that are strong right now is a good thing, especially back at home when between Miller, Kershaw, and Gonsolin. Yeah. You really need to figure Kershaw is going to go to the IL at some point because he just needs the rest, whether they find it or not.
It might happen. If we don't talk about it, it might not. Okay.
Right. But but honestly, Clint, I would rather him go on the IL in the middle of the season and be ready for the end of the season. I'm fine with that. Just right now is a bad time for him to be even thinking about it.
Yeah, but
I know, don't put it into the universe.
No. But here's the thing is that you need the wins now. There's no world in which you can just assume and bank that whatever this proverbial postseason you're talking about is this place where Kershaw is just going to be there. This is a team, and this is what we've been saying. You have to take what you can get, and that's why a nice little cruise control game like yesterday is perfect. I'm not greedy enough or presumptive enough to think that any game in the regular season is worth sacrificing for something potential down the line. Not me.
No, I agree with that. I don't think you're wrong in any sense. I don't want to get into the whole Kershaw going to the IL thing. I think you're right. You're right. I shouldn't be putting it out into the ether anyway. Right. That's a whole thing. Let's be happy that Tony Gonsolin had a good outing. Let's be happy about it. I do want to talk a little bit about David Peralta, though. This was just another one of those dudes that was kind of sitting on the scrap heap and nobody really wanted. Probably any other team could have had and probably could have had for a bigger deal. And the Dodgers got him, and he's been great. To the point where he started off a little slow, but for the last month and a half, he's been really, really good to go along with JD Martinez, who they took off the scrap heap, to go along with Jason Hayward, who's been really good. I think he has an over 800 OPS. He's been that good, been helpful. I think he has 7 home runs. He's had 8 home runs once in the last 4 years. So, and this is early in the season. The Dodgers find these dudes off the scrap heap, and David Peralta is turning out to be one of them.
And it's important when it turns into wins as well. That's the main thing. It's one thing for a guy to just have a great season. It's another thing for a guy to sort of surprise you versus what they might have done the last 2-3 years. It's another thing for a guy to be contributing to dubs. And that's exactly what's going on with Peralta. There's timely hitting that the team needs. And overall, I think the larger brain trust of that veteran leadership is important. It's not just Peralta. It's not just JD. It's not just Hayward. The 3 of them in total gives you something overall from a veteran leadership standpoint that not a lot of teams can point to that are still any good overall. So yes, that's been a great showing. But last night to me, finally, you felt like you could sort of exhale again in terms of watching this team at Dodger Stadium.
No, and now tonight, Kershaw is going to be on the hill. He's playing that dude that bounces around all over the place with his feet, and Mike Clevenger. God, it's so frustrating to watch that dude. But
that was a little too good of an impression of Clevenger's delivery. That made me uncomfortable.
No, it's true though.
When I watched that guy.
I just uncomfortable to watch him up there. But the Dodgers usually hit him pretty well. He was in San Diego last year, and they beat Again, I almost cursed again, and I'm trying not to. I've had too much coffee, Clinton. But either way.
That means it's probably time to shut it down. But, I do think Clevenger is a good matchup for them. I expect them to hit the ball a little harder today and not just get all their runs in the first. I hope Maruco, the manufacturing runs company, does show up tonight.
I love that, Maruko. And by the way, I will be off of the Blue Review tomorrow as my daughter is graduating 5th grade. Congratulations, Riley. Really love you for that. But you are going to be giving away this guy.
There it is. Mookie Betts diving bobblehead. You might have seen it in the commercial. It's got its own commercial. It's a bobblehead with its own ad. That's pretty tremendous. We'll be giving it away tomorrow. So make sure to tune in and like and review.
Thanks a lot to LAX. We'll see you tomorrow.